Hey guys, and welcome to the Big Bear Homestead. This video is in response to a video that I was tagged in by Brad over there at Full Spectrum Survival. Or was it Off Grid with Brad and Kelly? Anyway, same guy. And he did a video and tagged me in it about survivalism versus homesteading. Which one did you start with? Did you start in the world of preparedness and survivalism, or did you start in homesteading and then progressed to being more of a prepper slash survivalist? And then he wants to know what's some of our strong points, where are we weak at, and things along that nature. And so, let me answer those questions. And then I'm going to tag Dutch from Keeping It Dutch to keep this going. So, where did I start off? Well, you guys have been following my channel for some time. You guys know I'm a veteran in the United States Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps took me to many third world nations, and I got to see how people behaved when there was no clean water, when there was no food. People get ugly, and when the crap hits the fan, people get ugly, which would make you automatically go, okay, well, he started out prepping as survivalism. And the answer is no. Growing up as a kid, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather, and we always had a garden. He had honeybees. We fished, we hunted, we trapped. We did all those kinds of things. And I made a promise to myself after seeing all of that mess and everything over there that I would make sure that my family never went hungry. And so I went back to my roots. I went back to what I knew growing up as a kid. And we started with a garden. And then we got our first set of honeybees. And then, we decided to homeschool our children. And so we had a homeschool science project that led us into fowl. We hatched out quail eggs. And we went from quail to chicken to ducks to geese to turkeys, which turkeys are really just a pain in the touche. A turkey is just looking for a new way to die. But that's a whole different video. And then that progressed into getting pigs, and then a dairy cow, then a beef cow, then goats, then sheep. And to the point where we were at a quarter acre, we went to an acre, went to 5 acres, and now we're at our forever homestead of 21 acres. Homesteading has always been the backbone of my family's preparedness level. We've always strived to be as self-reliant as possible, and we're continuing to take those strides. Like now, here on our forever homestead, we are, we're reclaiming the homestead back from Mother Nature. 2, we are starting to take the steps to go off grid. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what steps we're taking, because I have to make another video as a video response to Brad and Go for Green's video on the steps that you're taking to go off grid. And so we raise the better portion of all of our food here on our homestead. It either comes to us by what we raise or what I hunt and trap and fish. And just naturally, when you're homesteading and you're raising your own food, you're putting food up. Whether you're canning it, dehydrating it, smoking it, or whatever. Knock it off. And so that puts you into the preparedness mindset. But as we started paying attention more and more to the world around us, we realized that we had to do other things. We had to arm ourselves. Like being a Marine, I didn't already have that one covered, but I'm just covering a talk point. We had security. We had to think about fresh water. We had to think about off-grid type of power. What would we do if this happened or if that happened? When we moved up here to our forever homestead, we had to really start thinking about thunderstorms and the possibility of tornadoes more than we did down at our other one. There was just a lot of things that we had to start taking into consideration that before it was just the homesteading lifestyle and we were putting food up and all of that. To where we progressed now to where we have portable ham radios, we have walkie-talkies, and I was going to pull y'all's leg a little bit and say that I was literally sitting in one of my outposts on my homestead, but I'm not a very good liar, so I would be laughing through saying that. But basically, we are sitting in the canopy of a pecan tree that we took down this morning to shed more light in some spots on a garden. This pecan just got a little bit too big and out of control. It wasn't taken care of properly when it was young, so it had to come down anyway. But we got better fencing, all those kinds of things. So we started in homesteading, but we have progressed into preparedness and survivalism also, to where part of our homeschool curriculum is teaching my kids how to start a wetwood fire, how to start a fire without matches or a lighter, how to purify water, how to cook over an open fire, how to build a shelter, to know what this herb is for and what foraging with plants and different things like that. And we put it into our homeschool curriculum. So obviously my strong points would have to be my food, the ability to be able to grow and raise enough food to feed my family and for it to be sustainable. We practice sustainable farming practices here with rotating pastures, like a back to Eden style garden. We make our own compost, stuff like that. So, and we save our own seed. So we're able to constantly produce food. So that would probably be our strong point. Maybe not our strongest, but that's probably one of our strong points. I honestly believe it's just how tight my family is our strongest point. Everybody knows with certain words, certain tones, that they know it's time to lock it down. And my weakest point when we're here, when it's just us, if the fecal matter was to hit the oscillation device now, my weakest point until some of my friends get here would be security. And that's just because of the size of my homestead. There's no way to be able to protect and keep locked down all 21 acres. But like I said, I do have some really close friends that if stuff does happen, they are coming here, and then that would no longer become a problem. So I think that answers all of Brad's questions. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the B-roll of our farm and homestead while I was sitting here talking. And so my questions now go to Dutch, and my questions are the same. Which one did you start with first? I mean, you're a fellow devil dog. You're my brother. Did you start with survivalism or did you start with homesteading? And why? What's your strongest attribute, and what's your weakest link? So we're kicking it over to Keeping It Dutch. Make sure you go back and check out Brad's at Full Spectrum Survival, his video on this subject. And thanks for hanging out with me for this short period of time. So, and then now going over to Dutch, Keeping It Dutch. So thanks for coming by the Big Bear Homestead, and like always, have a nice day.